And we are back.
We are back, bumble bitches. Heavy on that B.
Heavy on the B.
Yeah.
All the B.
Buh.
Full batitude. So in about 1 minute, our Costa Rica trip will go live.
In a minute?
In 1 minute.
Oh my gosh, the anticipation just built up so quickly in me.
Yeah.
You remember that scene in the Rocky Horror Picture Show when he goes, Antissa? And you wait for it and you wait for it. And he says, patient. That anxiety right there, instantly in that 1 minute. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's Costa Rica.
Is this the new equivalent of the thigh slap?
Yeah.
So because the Costa Rica trip is going live, we obviously have to talk about it before we talk about anything else because we're both super fucking excited about it. The dates are May 20th to the 25th of 2025. Mm-hmm. The flights to Costa Rica versus the flights to Thailand are fucking like a tenth of the cost.
You told me the price for Costa Rica and I was like, word.
Yeah, we're flying first class.
Like,
way cheap.
Done.
Yeah, way cheap. It was cheaper when I was looking to fly to Costa Rica than it was to fly to Vegas. Yeah, I don't know if it's just like an off-season time of the year because it's rainy season down there right now. I don't know, but like
maybe
could be a fluke. Could have just been that day. I don't know, but it was. So we're doing 6 days. Technically, day 1 is the arrival. Day 6 is leaving. So really, it's a 4-day excursion in the fucking jungle.
Okay, how many nights am I put my head down there?
5.
5 nights. I'm sleeping.
We leave on the 6th day.
Okay, so I'm gonna view this as a 5-day vacation.
Technically, we'll be there for 7 because we have to get there before the people who are coming with us does.
Oh, I forgot. We're the hosts.
Yep. So we have to get there a day early. But I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on. Day 1, we'll be staying in a hotel in San Jose.
Yes.
This is the day that everybody's going to get there at about 5:30. We're going to do a dinner, which is included with the trip. And then we stay in a hotel. And then day 2, we have breakfast. And then they transfer us to Poza Azula Waterfall. Poza Azul Waterfall. I posted this on Instagram last night.
I'm having such a hard time with doing that on TikTok. It's not letting me use any of the photos on Google.
Yeah.
It keeps hitting me with that minimum in numbers.
I'll have to find bigger images and give them to you.
Do I have to use images?
I mean, you can just talk about it, but
I think I'm just going to.
That works.
Okay, word.
So we have to take a transfer. It is a private transfer to the waterfall. It stops for bathrooms. It doesn't tell us how long a trip it is. But we get breakfast that morning too. That's also included. So dinner and breakfast on day 1 and day 2 is included. We make the trip to the waterfall. The waterfall itself is about a 1 mile hike.
Love that.
600 stairs down to the actual waterfall and pool, which sucks dick because that means you have to walk 600 stairs back up to the top. However, this is a pretty big tourist spot and people do it every day. It's really only 6 stories when you think about it. Like it's probably not. It's probably a whole lot more than that, but.
I could do the lighthouse. I can do this.
Yeah, easily. That's what we're telling ourselves.
Well, the lighthouse was like 2,000 and something steps. I was so dead at the end of that. I can squash this.
Yeah, okay.
Easy peasy.
Then lunch is included at a local restaurant. It's a 3-course set menu with 1 non-alcoholic beverage included. And then we transfer to Sarah Pequay. Say that, woman.
Sarah Pequay?
There you go.
I have no idea.
And then we get dinner there as well.
Okay, hang on. I want to pause. I want to preface this with I had to take geography twice in high school. All right. Is Costa Rica the place that has that massive Jesus statue?
No, that's
or is that Brazil? It's Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we have the next day we travel to Era Ambigua Lodge.
Ambigua.
I posted pictures of this too. This lodge is in the fucking jungle. It is gangster.
Oh my God, hang on, stop. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm too excited. I need to calm down so we can continue. Because if I don't, I'm just going to keep.
I don't have the chat pulled up. I know there will be questions, guys. We will get to that when we're done with this. I just need to get through the itinerary.
The frogs we're going to see.
Well, they're going to see a lot because the nighttime
sounds.
tour. We'll get there. Slow down.
Bugs.
Slow your roll. Your roll.
See, that's the thing. I'm doing a thing. Okay.
Day 3, we get breakfast again, included. Right. And then you start your day off with a guided forest therapy session. You'll begin on the property and then enjoy a guided meditative experience that will bring you closer to nature. After your session, you're free to get lunch on your own, which is not included. Mm-hmm. Then in the afternoon, you will head to a tour of a chocolate farm. Right?
Just call me Willy Wonka. Let's go.
You would then return to the hotel after the tour for dinner.
Wait, pause. Okay, so we're going to learn about its rich history. Do we get to taste the chocolate?
I would assume so. They normally let you do things like that when you're doing tours like that.
Well, I'm just going to let everybody know that I am willing to ask those kinds of questions if it's not presented right away. So if we as a group want to do something, I will ask.
So you get back to the hotel, you have dinner, and then into the night you discover and watch the rainforest come alive at night. Today you will want to wear comfortable clothes and bring a water bottle, insect repellent, and sunscreen. You'll have to make sure you bring all that because I will not remember any of it.
So I am going to make the insect repellent, but I'm also going to bring DEET just in case because I don't know how hard it goes in Costa Rica with their insects. I know Florida, but
yeah, you're in a jungle. I would bring real
yeah
the Uncle
DEET.
Bins like.
I feel like we're gonna see like a 4-foot mosquito,
from the DEET shit. Yeah.
like the mist kind of thing going on.
It also says to bring a rain jacket and a poncho, which means we have to hit REI because none of my rain jackets fit me anymore. They're all way too big.
Camera, binoculars.
They said insect repellent more than once. See this?
So they emphasized it.
Yeah.
Emphasized it.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to use this as an excuse to buy binoculars for the family.
So the chocolate tour here is
Thank you, though.
is only a 20-minute transfer from the forest therapy session.
Okay.
And you're going to an old
Wait,
cacao
pause.
plantation.
There's like a forest therapy session?
Yeah, I read that already.
Did you?
You need to pay attention, woman.
I was so hooked up on the chocolate.
I said that.
And the rainforest. You're moving way too fast for me. Can we slow down? I'm so excited. I'm going to be in a rainforest at night and I want to cry about it. I can't wait. I read this book. I think it's called Origin. It's about this girl who's raised in the rainforest. And like I latch on to stories and like at night when I lay awake at night when I'm trying to fall asleep, I put myself in the stories and that's one of those stories I always do. And now I get to do it in real life. I can't wait.
So let's break down this day because this is day 3.
Okay.
The therapy session. This is here. Read this because you retain when you read.
All right. Enjoy a guided forest therapy session on the property as a 3-hour guided meditative experience to connect with the forest and one another in a different way and learn about and experience the benefits of forest bathing / what is forest bathing?
I have no idea.
Okay. So what do we mean that we're going to connect with one another? Because I don't want to touch people.
It's the group. So it'll be you and I and
the
people that come with us and Ivy down.
I was going to wait for her to get comfortable and tell her. Okay. Your experience will vary based on your group, but may include sharing circles, relaxation techniques, and fundamental appreciation techniques to connect you with the forest around you. Led by trained guides. Oh, heck yeah. I'm going to take all of this information home with me. I'm going to ask them if we can record it.
Keep going because I've already read all this. I want you to retain it. I want you to know what's happening.
Okay, no, I remember the chocolate tour.
Well, this has got more information, babe.
Oh, this is a different part of the chocolate tour?
This is a more in-depth description.
Holy guacamole. Okay. This is too much for me. A brief 20-minute transfer will take you to the entrance of an old cacao plantation where you'll begin the tour. The cacao tree originated in Mesoamerica and has a rich and extraordinary history, which you will come to understand. Hell yeah. Oh, I'm going to bring like a notepad. I'm going to journal all of this. I'm going to make a junk journal. I'm going to collect leaves and wood.
I don't think you can bring any of that back here.
No?
Nope. It's got to pass through customs. You can't bring shit like that across the border.
What if I like sanitize dirt?
I don't think that you can bring any of that across the border.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think they'll confiscate it.
Oh, that's going to crush me.
I mean, you can try to put it in your bags. But I don't know. I think they'll.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll have to look that up. Okay. The tour includes a walk across. Was that an R or an I? I don't have my glasses.
The Tirambina hanging bridge.
To an old cacao plantation. Oh, do we have to cross that bridge?
No, I'm sure we do.
Babe, if you pull that shit that you pulled at the Gnome City, we are all going to have to go potty before we go on this bridge.
We're on there, and I'm like, Zach, you ready to take a picture? And he's like, yeah, because he's standing on concrete over there. And he goes to take a picture. I'm like, take video. And he did, and I jumped up and down on the bridge, and you were like,
I stabilized. I was like, if I don't move and the bridge doesn't move and he's the only one moving, I won't fall. Like,
No, I got you too. That's awesome. That's
yeah.
funny.
Oh, and this is an old ass rickety bridge. Like this.
I don't think it's old and rickety. I'm sure it's been maintained.
Oh, probably
because
updated and
there's
made.
tours there.
Oh, you're right. We're not crossing a bridge made in the 1700s.
Right.
That is a goal I would like to do. That's probably like a castle thing.
Yeah.
If I want to cross a bridge from
I
the
think
1700s.
that any time that there's going to be any of that, it's going to be reinforced and made modern because everything's got to have code now.
There has to be some forgotten town in Ireland that where they haven't maintained the local city bridge. I'm going to find it. On my bucket list now. I'm going to have to update that. A guide will reveal the secrets. Oh, wait. So the hanging bridge through a forested section where you will observe how the product originally developed there. Oh, gosh. I'm going to ask for a seed.
Can't bring it with you.
If I have to swallow it and pass it, I will.
Wow.
It's not the same. It's not the same. A guide will reveal the secrets of transforming cacao fruit into chocolate, and you'll see the chocolate making process firsthand, as well as have the opportunity to treat your taste buds to real organic rainforest chocolate.
See, so you will get to eat it. This is the thing that you're most excited about.
It is. You want to know? So I looked at my husband last night. We were watching somebody professionally use nunchucks. And I looked at my husband and I was like, you want to know what my toxic traits? I believe I could do that on my first try. We're going to go to this chocolate factory and I'm going to watch them do this process. I'm going to believe that I can do it. And you want to know what the basis of this belief is? When I went kayaking with Caitlin, we borrowed her dad's kayaks and he hooked it up to the hitch on my Kia. And when we got back, he wasn't there. And she's like, it's going to be like 30 to 45 minutes. And I was like, well, I watched him do it. And I did it perfectly. Her dad came back and he was like, you've never done this before? And I was like, no. And he was like, impressive.
That's funny.
So we're going to have to test this with the chocolate.
We already got a booking. We're not even done yet.
Stop.
Yep.
Oh, we're going to have so much fun in this chocolate factory. Now let's read about the night tours. All right, the guided night walk tour. Somebody's already booked and I'm already super stoked about this one person. I don't even know who you are yet. From the hotel, you'll take a 20-minute transfer to reach the night walk location. That 20 minutes is going to be like torture to me. I'm going to get like jittery and butterflies and okay. Then embark on a walk tour that allows you to discover the wonders of the nighttime tropical rainforest. When most wildlife species are active, oh God, there's going to be a panther. During this 2-hour walk, you will learn about the natural history of different rainforest species with a focus on nocturnal species. Oh, such as frogs.
What was that? Did you just mentally flex on camera? Damn it.
I'm so excited. Oh, I want to see a frog that can kill me. There's so much power in such a little creature. Like we think that we are the dopest things in this.
Why are you crying?
Because I'm so excited. I'm going to take pictures of frogs in Costa Rica. Are you kidding me? Oh, this is a dream come true. We'll do your ears when we get home. I'm sorry they're bothering you. All right, continuing on. Okay, insects, spiders, sloths, kinkajou, or possums. What is a kinkajou? Everyone take a moment and Google this. Kinkajous. Let's see what this looks like. Oh my gosh. Oh, babe.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the big ass eyes. Oh, they have the same ears as a bear. It's like a little bear. You might get a tiny version of your dream, babe.
Yeah, it's not the same.
I know, but it's lifespan.
I would be pretty pumped to see a sloth. Yeah.
Right. Oh, I'm gonna. If one like reaches out to fist bump me, I'm a fist bump it. I should bring hand Sandy. We're gonna bring hand Sandy on this walk. Okay. revealing a completely different perspective of the rainforest and life. Are you kidding me? I walk outside and it's mosquitoes and rabbits and wasps. And now horseflies. We have horseflies in the backyard. Yeah. Terrifying. Expect to walk around 1 mile on paved trail where you will encounter some stairs. Less than 100. Oh, that's easy compared to the 600 at the waterfall.
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to try to bring home some of that water.
Dinner is included.
Dinner. Oh, they're going to bring us flashlights. I'm going to pack a headlight just in case.
That's probably pretty smart.
Yeah. And then the accommodations at the Rainforest Night Lounge again. Day 4, we're going to have breakfast in the morning. I love that they provide breakfast every single morning.
They provide at least one meal a day.
Yeah. I'm such a foodie. And I love that it's going to be food from around there. It's not going to be IHOP.
It's also important to note that it's a 3-star hotel, and 3-star hotels in other countries are not like 3-star hotels here.
Right.
The star ratings are very different here.
Yes.
They're fucking gangster ass hotels.
I'm really stoked. I would not be staying in a Hotel 6 equivalent in Costa Rica, guys. Oh, excuse me. So after breakfast, we are going to travel to a local organic farm. Oh my God. I'm gonna eat so much fruit that day, I'm going to throw up. I'm so ready. We're going to take a 30-minute transfer to a local farm, then explore this organic farm and increase your knowledge of the great variety of crops that are part of Costa Rica's cuisine, and that currently transcends its borders, even to other continents. Oh man, another toxic trait in me is I want to move to Costa Rica now. I feel like we're going to fall in love with it. It's so cheap there.
I would like, we'll talk about that on the podcast.
Okay. It should be noted that all of the crops and products of the Finca Organica, oh, you can definitely tell that I am Caucasian, are grown 100% organic, ecological, and with friendly environmental practices. You will walk approximately 1 mile on dirt trails as you tour the farm. You may have the opportunity to taste some traditional crops. You will also visit the animal husbandry section of the farm.
Yep.
Stop it! Oh my fucking God, I want to see horses and pigs and chickens and cows and sheep and goats, etc. There's more.
And then you'll eventually transfer back to the hotel.
Oh my goodness. I got to see Scottish Highland cows in Tennessee. And now I'm going to see whatever kind of cows they have in Costa Rica. I don't know. There's so many different breeds of cows. I'm going to go for the cow hug if they allow me, if that's allowed on the property. For your final full day, you'll enjoy breakfast again in the rainforest. Oh, one last time. Don't tell me that. I'm probably going to cry at that breakfast, everybody. Just so you're aware, I'm a very sentimental... I'm already thinking about it. It's making me sad. Yep. I'm going to cry at breakfast. So if that makes you uncomfortable, don't sit next to me. I understand. One last time before transferring back to San Jose. When you arrive, you'll have the opportunity to get lunch on your own, and you'll have the rest of the day for your leisure. If you signed up for the optional San Jose sightseeing tour, you'll explore the city center and historical landmarks on foot. This evening, you'll enjoy one last dinner with your group and toast to a wonderful week.
And then that's it. We go back.
Yep.
So I did not sign up for the optional San Jose tour. And I did not sign up for the optional tour because I figure after all of that walking on day 3, my legs are probably going to be a little miserable and I'm going to want to...
I don't want to be around a lot of people in a city.
Take it easy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. That's too much. Too much for me. You might love
so
that.
I just closed the window and
Okay.
I just see you can tell he doesn't want to go. This was my fucking idea.
What? What was your idea?
The Costa Rica thing. I want to move there. We've had long discussions about how they have a 2-year tax-free thing to move all of our shit to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So because I'm not overly excited and crying and getting the way that she is, you guys think that I don't want to go. That's insane to me.
Not everybody expresses excitement the same way. Shame on you for shaming somebody else.
Crazy. So let's, before we get into anything else, you made a TikTok in July.
It was this year.
About the women expecting you to chase them. And I tried to download it and was going to put it on the computer, but...
I need the actual verbiage.
Okay, I need to stretch for a second.
Okay. Good girl. She's a good girl. She's Ivy. What am I looking at? I'm really embracing like the full mom look at the phone. If he doesn't chase you after you walk away, keep walking. And my response, so this was a post on Threads, and my response on Threads was, but you chose to walk away. I'm not going to chase anyone who is choosing to turn away from me.
Right. You had a whole thing there.
I did.
Can you just play it near the microphone?
Oh yeah, I can do that. I can try to do that.
There's a couple of things that I really want to touch on that. And I didn't even see that until today.
The other day on Threads, if you would like to follow me, here's the information that you need. But this says, if he doesn't chase you after walking away, keep walking. My response was, but you walked away. I wouldn't chase anyone who is choosing to turn away from me, right? Because we are problem solvers here. We look for solutions. It's you and me against the problem, not you and me against each other. So this statement leads me down a couple of trains of thoughts. And the first one is, if you are the person who uses this as a tactical, emotional maneuver during arguments or uncomfortable conversations to have them follow you, chase you into the bedroom or outside or wherever you decide to go because you're emotional and you need validation that they still love you even though you guys are arguing. And your tactical move is to walk away and have them chase you, that's toxic.
Okay.
I also view it as an emotionally unregulated.
So I just want to touch on a couple of things in that because again, I saw that for the first time today.
All right. I mean, did you listen to all of it?
I did. I watched the entire thing and then I saved it. Well, I put it on my favorites because I wanted to have a conversation with you about it. And then I had you send it to me and I was going to try to make it work on all of this, but it didn't. Back's cramping. I need a second. That walk away only to have me chase you, that is a manipulation tactic. Mm-hmm. And in psychological senses, that relieves 100% of the power from the person who's chasing. Mm-hmm. It turns you into a follower. You are now a beaten dog trying to get approval from the person that is leaving your area. And I believe from a man's perspective, once that happens, you can no longer ever be viewed as a leader.
I agree.
The person that you were dating, the woman, the wife, whatever it is, mm-hmm. now knows that they have 100% power over you in the event that they want to simply step away, you will follow them.
Right.
I have such a problem with that entire thing. And for any of the men who are listening, if you have a woman who does that shit, do not fucking follow them. If they make the decision to walk away from you, that tells you everything that you need to know.
I agree. As a woman, because some women say, "Oh, you can't speak on women like that." No, I agree with everything my husband's saying right now. It's immature, it's unregulated, and it's a toxic way to get love from somebody. Sorry, I was burping as I was saying that. Pardon me.
If we were in a conversation and I got up and just walked away from you, mm-hmm. what would that tell you about us?
That you're walking away from our relationship.
Right. I don't give a fuck enough about what's going on with your emotional state, and I'm not emotionally regulated enough to control myself mm-hmm. to even be like, mm-hmm. hey, I need 5 minutes to step away right now. I'm getting a little worked up and I need to calm down.
Right.
That whole situation irks the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm. I want to tack on to that. The person who walks away and the person who follows, that whole situation signifies that the person who walks away is the only person who has the power to deem that the situation is resolved. And it's not resolved until they feel it's resolved. I can't keep acting normal when you're in pain. It feels too weird for me.
It's so weird that I haven't been hurt in the last 2 days and now I'm fucking dying over here.
Yeah.
But is that really the case though? Because it's not resolution.
No, it's not. So resolution is like a loosely defined resolution, whatever makes them feel better. So let me rephrase. The person who walks away and the person who follows, and it's done in anger or frustration, and it's not done in I don't know, I'm upset, I'm walking away, I need a minute. Whatever. I'm flustered because you're making me think about too much. I need a second. Hang on.
Prefacing that with I'm going to leave is I need to step away is fine.
Babe, I need a minute.
Okay. While she's thinking about that, somebody said, what's going on with you? I have a herniated disc that's pushing into my spinal column and it's taking up 40% of my spine. And the nerve damage sucks dick. So as I'm shifting and complaining and moving and stretching, that's why.
Okay, I have gathered my thoughts. Prefacing with, that was what you were saying. Mm-hmm. Continue your thought.
If you're saying that I'm super worked up right now, I'm getting frustrated and I don't want to say something mean, or I'm going to become emotionally unregulated, I need a minute.
Right.
And walking into another room is perfectly healthy.
Right.
That is normal. I'm trying to do the right thing. I love you. I don't want to leave. I don't want to fight with you. Let's calm down for a minute. Let's take a breather. There's nothing wrong with that. Walking away and then getting mad because somebody doesn't choose to follow you is a problem.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman that does this shit.
Right.
You're telling me in that situation, you're willing to walk away from this.
Correct. What I was trying to say was the person who walks away in that situation, the person who follows, that whole situation is now compiled of the person who walked away now has the power to deem the situation resolved. They've walked away out of emotion. You have followed out of emotion. Nothing is based in what's actually happening right now. So any kind of resolution that happened is based, any kind of resolution, there's not real resolution. It's just whatever insecurity or trauma response has been triggered is now satiated and we're not yelling at each other anymore. The person who walked away and is triggered for whatever reason, until that person is satiated, this isn't going to stop. So even if the person who follows goes, I need 5 seconds to calm down, even if they take that 5 seconds, well, now that's a whole new problem. Like nothing that they do is going to be good enough until they make that person feel better about what's happening. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, that's what I was trying to say earlier.
I'm going to, Carrie, you're going to want to clip this. And I'm going to preface what I'm about to say with what she's going to clip so that it makes sense to the people who watch this as it comes up later. We are currently having a conversation about people walking away from each other during conflict and expecting somebody to chase after the person that has walked away. I made a comment earlier about a woman doing that because women expect men to chase them. And then somebody in the chat just now, well, a minute ago said, well, what if a guy does it? Mm-hmm. And they said that because I said that when a woman does that, if a man follows, he's given up all ability to ever lead that relationship because he's showing that he is subservient.
Right.
Okay. So then they said, well, what if a man does it? Why the fuck would you want to follow a man who is not in control of his emotions? If you are not emotionally regulated, if you cannot articulate the things that need to be articulated to your partner, if you cannot sit down and devise a plan with your family on the way that you are going to structure your lives and then adhere to that plan, you are not a man worth leading.
Right. I agree with that.
You certainly
100%.
should not follow a man who is in that emotional mind state.
Yep.
Not everyone is worthy of leadership.
I agree with that.
Right? And sometimes it needs to be the woman who needs to leave because you're dating a manager. Mm-hmm. So this isn't about male or female. This comes down to emotional regulation and not expecting somebody to follow you.
Right.
That whole TikTok really got under my skin this morning.
Yeah.
Yep. I kind of want to go get that Bosu ball or the yoga ball thing. It's the only thing I can sit on that doesn't hurt my back. These chairs are fucking wrecking me.
I don't see why not.
Because I have to move the cameras, and I'm just not going to do all that while we're live. I'm going to suffer.
Okay.
I just may be sitting up and having the top of my head cut off on camera. Because this immediately resolves the pain.
I mean, that's fine then. I can sit up with you. You want me to sit up with you so we're the same?
We're just going to have our heads chopped off?
Same, but different?
She can't clip that, though.
Yes, she can.
No, because our heads will be chopped off.
For one episode's fine if it alleviates your back pain. Yeah, let's do that. It'll be funny.
No, you're good, babe. Stay where you're at. Be comfortable.
Nobody's comfortable now.
I am now that I'm sitting up.
Yeah, well, I know I don't need to sit like a shrimp anyway.
Our massage therapist told her that she had the posture of a geisha and it made her cry.
It did. No, she told me that my all-around being, like my vibe and the way that I talk, that made me feel good.
Instantly.
Yeah, and I noticed
my toes no longer numb.
Yeah, I noticed yesterday while doing yoga with the kids. That's going to be a nightly thing now. They hated all of it.
Did you hear that, Zach?
Yeah, I messaged the Death Star chat. They hated every minute of it. They hated every minute of the yoga, but they were begging for it. Let's do yoga. But they wanted to do some made up yoga that they wanted to do. And I was like,
they wanted to play.
I was like, no, we're going to do real yoga. And like, we're moving our hips and whatnot. And they're like, Mommy, this hurts. And I'm like, that's yoga. And I was like, no, it's not supposed to hurt. You're doing it too much. Like, don't pull too hard. But they're like, this is boring. I'm like, that's yoga.
It's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny. So anything new? And that's all I wanted for today. I wanted to go over Costa Rica and talk about that TikTok. That idea of if you need to chase me shit, something primal in me, it enrages the fuck out of me, dude. I gotta be honest. I'd be like, you can come back whenever you're ready to get your shit. Like I that's worse than hanging up. Like if I'm talking to you and we're having like a life-changing conversation, and you were to turn your back on me and we were not able to calmly resolve things, it shows me that we're not on the same level anymore.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That would break my heart, babe. At one point, there was oatmeal cream pies in the cabinet, and I was about to get up and go get one. And I remembered I ate the last one yesterday. Past me, betrayed future me, and I'm so salty about it.
I'm glad I got my 2 in when I ate them. I ate them back to back
man.
too. I grabbed one. And I was like, husband's going to devour these. And I was like,
fucking ate that whole box.
I was like, a second one? I was like, take the second one.
I bought a pack, the box of Oreo chocolate chip cookies and Nutter Butters, and I've ate all of the fucking Nutter Butters and half the chocolate chip cookies and only one of the Oreos because I know you eat the Oreos, but that box is getting empty. You might want to step up and get some snacks.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't notice the Oreos were in there. I was looking for the Nutter Butters, and I opened it and it was all blue, and I was like,
first ones that go.
I know those are your favorite.
Yeah. Alex said it's not much. Just a thanks from me to you. 2 years ago today, I had tried to delete myself and found to be better just after. You had a big role in my wake-up call. I'm glad that we did that. I'm glad that you are still here and a part of our community.
Thank you for being here still. Life is hard.
It is.
I'm starting to have those conversations with the kids, especially our son.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does not like being in school. It's so boring to him, and I was like, I know, like I really want to get things set up to homeschool them. It's just not at the point in life yet where we can do that, where it's sustainable. And
Takes a village.
It does. It really does. And him and I have started having conversations of, homie, life just sucks sometimes. My life sucks sometimes. You think that I want to go to work? No. Do I do it? Yeah. Do I have fun when I start doing it? Yeah. It's just getting there and actually changing what we're doing, because you don't want to leave your bed. I get it. Yeah.
Do you get anxiety when you make plans for something later in the day and then think about having to go?
My whole day is spent at home waiting to leave.
Okay, so that's not just a me thing.
No.
We make plans to do shit and like 6 o'clock, right? We know we got to go to the movie theater or whatever.
Yeah.
It's fucking 9:30 in the morning. And I know we have to go, right? And now I don't want to do anything else for the rest of the day because I know that I have to leave at a specific time to go to the movie theater. And like, I get anxious over that shit.
I also don't want to shower too late in the day because my hair needs to dry. And if we leave the house and go do something, then I might have to shower again. I don't want to get sweaty and smell at the movie theater. I want to cuddle my man. Like,
what is wrong with us?
Mental illness. Trauma.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've done an email on a Wednesday. Do you want to just do Q&A shit, or do you want to do an email?
A Q&A is fun. I'm down to do Q&A.
I'm going to pop open the Discord real quick just to make sure that there is no... Did that open on your screen, Carrie?
Discord.
Can you press... hang on one second, guys.
Hi, dear babies. Oh, come here. Yeah, I'll give you some. Oh, no? Okay. You didn't want me to pick you up. Is it because I pinched you last time? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh no, I logged out of Discord.
Oh no.
Damn it.
It's been a while since I've gone. And
I know who's going to Costa Rica with us.
Who is it?
Would you like a hint?
Yes.
He's a phenomenal cook.
Is it Zach? Is it brother Zach? Stop it.
Yep.
Holy shit.
All right.
Oh, so that has me excited. Okay. I wasn't expecting that to be the first one. He wasn't kidding.
Nope, he was not kidding. All right. So I'm going to read off some of the super chats that have come through this morning, and then I guess we'll just do Q&A stuff today.
Yeah.
That works for me. Mr. Crowley said, Mr. Crowley,
Dun, dun, dun.
Good morning, Chris and Peach. Thank y'all for being you and everything you guys do. Also, is there a specific email for Voice of the Broken? I would love Chris's thoughts on something. One, I would love for you to send a Voice of the Broken email. I have almost run out of content for that. I think the last episode we did was 14. I have not recorded in almost 2 weeks for that because my back's been so bad.
Yeah.
But now that I can record in the other room, I can do that from my desk in there instead of doing it out here. And I'm ready to go again. So if you guys want to send emails for Voice of the Broken, you send it to tobebetterco@gmail.com, and in the subject title, whatever your title wants to be, and then put Voice of the Broken in there.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what Voice of the Broken is, Voice of the Broken is a standalone project that I am doing just for me to talk to other men. And it's to benefit them, but most of the feedback that I've gotten has been from women. You've given me a new perspective on my husband. Thank you for doing this.
Women are more likely to seek out the information.
Yeah, I know. Because we were...
Right. But I mean, like by proxy, like you're helping husbands.
Yeah. So do you think that with all of that actually being the case that... because if you came to me... This is my toxic trait.
I'm ready. Go.
Babe, my back hurts. You need to do something about it. No, it'll be okay, right? And then 3 weeks later, I'm now getting deep tissue massage. I'm going to MRIs and chiropractors, and I'm trying to actually take care of myself because, babe, you need to take care of your back. You need to do something. You need to do something. You need to do something. So this is the nurturer and the stubborn asshole because I don't want to do that shit. Like my body will take care of itself. Eventually, this will go away, or it'll progressively get worse. And I'm going to put it off as long as I fucking can because if I have to go to the doctor, there could be something really wrong.
Yeah.
I would rather not know that there's something really wrong.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
I have never manhandled you, but I will try.
That's the way that goes.
We are not going to put things off until you can't walk. Like,
I mean, it was at that point though. It was at that point.
I didn't know it was that bad. You play it off really well.
You saw me sitting there crying.
No, I know. I know. But even then you were like, okay, I might go see a doctor about this.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell how much pain you're in because you're really good at masking it because you don't want people to know how much pain you're in, babe.
Yeah, it's life shit.
Oh, now I'm going to start probing. Yeah.
Got a new booking.
Another booking?
Another booking.
Who was that? Tell me.
I don't know. It didn't say. Second super chat was from Blake Todd. At what point in a relationship does making your partner comfortable and secure override pre-existing plans? If plans were made before getting together, at what seriousness does the relationship take priority over plans? Ooh, that's a good question.
Okay, so I have a made up scenario. Are we ready?
Yeah, because we're going to have to do the scenario thing.
Okay, so...
Scenario. You just made me do the thing.
We're going to use you and I as the real life example. We're in our courting phase. And we're not yet confirmed to be anything yet. And say I planned a trip with my best friend, Kevin. And we were going to go to Costa Rica and meet up with 2 of our other friends there. Would you have an issue with that?
In the courting phase?
Yeah.
I don't have a say in the courting phase.
Okay.
That is... You are still very much living your life. I am still very much living my life. And we are trying to ascertain whether or not we are
compatible.
Same goal oriented.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Right.
Because we may not even be compatible. We could be really compatible, but have very different ambition.
Yeah. Or life goals.
And that's not going to work.
Right.
Right. So in the dating phase, if we are together, say a year.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I have another question.
Okay.
So say I planned this trip a year ago and we've been dating for 5 months.
So you planned a trip while we were in the courting phase. We've been together for 5 months. Do I know this person?
Yeah, I would say this person has come around. If I feel safe enough to travel with this person, I would imagine that they're around a decent amount of time.
That would
not invasive, but
that would speak to the way that the interaction is between the two of you and how I feel about the situation.
Okay.
Because in the event that I felt that there was an ulterior motive on his part or
too handsy,
anything like that, I would have a problem with it.
Tone might be too flirty.
Yeah. But again,
glances last a little bit too long.
That's 5 months. At that point, you are still so new in a relationship that you can't really ask somebody to give up something like that.
Right. Would you have a conversation of like, hey, I'm a little bit of uncomfortable
Yes.
or I'm having anxiety
I
about
would
this?
100% have a conversation. I would tell you flat out that it makes me uncomfortable that you and I are in a committed relationship and you are going to another country with a dude.
Okay.
And then I would tell you all the things that I noticed that made me feel uncomfortable so that you understood what I was going through.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be from you need to quit your trip.
Right.
That would not be the conversation. The conversation would be, I am now having insecurities in our relationship. We are so new into all of this. I need reassurance. And if you're like, well, that he's like a brother to me and all of that bullshit, it's going to make it worse.
I was about to say
Right.
that like a brother to me is bullshit.
It will absolutely make that whole
Yeah.
situation so much worse than what it was. That would be a thing. Anyway, so if we're a year in, right,
Okay.
and you plan this before we started courting, I would probably try to go,
Okay.
right? Because now you're going to go experience a fucking exotic location for a week with people. Like, it's not that expensive.
Our lives are intertwined at this point.
I would try to ride with you. Like,
Yeah.
like, would you like me to go with you? And
So-
it's rude to invite yourself, right? Like
Right.
that's socially, you're not supposed to do that. But I would at night be like low key, be like,
Right.
damn, I kind of want to go with you, babe.
I would think it's weird at that 1 year point to not be invited.
Okay.
Like, if this trip has been planned out a year and a half in advance, and we've been together for a year, we leave in 4 months. We courted for 2 months, whatever.
We living together at this point?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. See, that changes things.
Right. Okay, so let's do we are living together and we're not living together. Because if we're not living together at 1 year, why are we not living together at 1 year?
Probably because you're not dating with intent.
Right? Because there's issues going on, disturbing of the peace. I don't want you in my home yet. I like coming back home where it's quiet and I don't have to be around you.
Right.
Right? So we're living together at the 1 year mark. I'm going to be honest. I would have asked you at like the 7 or 8 month mark of us being together. Hey, I'm going on this trip. I've asked all of my friends. They're cool with an extra person. Do you want to go with us? Because like at that point, past the 6 month mark, okay, well, now we're actually putting time into this. That's when the clock really starts ticking for me. The first 6 months is a trial period. I don't even know you yet.
Right. How do I want to word this? Okay, so we'll call it a year, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in love with somebody and you're doing the life thing and you're living together and you guys are starting to build your future, why wouldn't you want to take that person with you to Costa Rica, right? Or to wherever you're going, because you're starting to build the foundation of life experience and life expectancy.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a whole lot of that shit early on in the relationship, the chances are that's who you guys are, and
Right.
that's what's going to continue. We travel a lot.
We do.
We love that shit, but we've been doing that since the beginning.
Yeah, we have.
So and it started with small trips.
It did.
Across the state, Jacksonville, Keys,
Yeah.
whatever, and then because we
Now
don't,
we're leaving the country.
right. But that's the thing. But what they ask is if plans were made before getting together, at what seriousness does the relationship take? So it's not even a time frame. What seriousness does the relationship take priority? I think that this is a hard one. Blake, I would like you to send an email because there's a lot of what ifs
Yeah,
in
I
this.
would need an elaboration on that because there's a seriousness level from both people, just not. We talked about being together for this long and we've talked about marriage. Do you want marriage with this person?
Right.
Do you want this person for the rest of your life? So yeah, an elaboration on the seriousness because both people have to be invested in that. If you're serious in this relationship and you want to take the next step because you're in love with this person, but they're still disrespectful, not respecting boundaries, calling names when they get frustrated or hanging up the phone when they don't get their way.
or walking away in the middle of a conversation,
Right.
hoping you chase them.
Right.
So the seriousness for me would be when the intent of dating no longer goes from getting to know the person to the intent of possible marriage or longevity, right? We're
Yeah.
no longer just doing this because it suits us. We're doing this because there is actual intent behind the relationship.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yes, that's fair. And we can never know somebody well enough to predict their future actions to 100% accuracy, right? I would include in that seriousness knowing that this person is meaning what they say when they say they want something with me.
Right.
It's not just lip service. I just want to stress that.
I agree.
I think so many people fall into the illusion of somebody because it sucks being alone. And the first person who comes along and is like, oh, I'm interested in the things you're interested in. Oh, that's dope. You made that by yourself. Hell yeah. and they start feeding that attention meter, something that's been drained for so long, it feels fantastic.
Right.
And then you have the person, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. Like the first time I saw somebody past my illusion of them was earth shattering.
Right.
Earth shattering. And now I do it to everybody. I'm able to see everybody past my illusion of them, past their own demons, past the things that make them upset or happy. Like, I don't know how to explain seeing past that illusion, but once you're able to do it, it is one of the most self-empowering things, because now I can just trust my what?
Nothing. Keep talking, babe.
You're smiling and looking at your phone, and the thought's gone. What is it? Don't tell me Janae booked.
Mike and Katie did.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
Yeah, he just texted me and was like, Costa Rica, here we come.
Oh my God. Oh my God, hang on. I really need a minute. Like, I love our life and I love the people in our life.
It's dope. You got very close to having a normal illusion shattering conversation to speaking to trauma bonding.
Did I?
In that whole scenario.
When did I start speaking to trauma bonding?
Because one of the first, I think there's 6 or 7 stages of a trauma bond, but the first one is this person is the thing that I've always needed.
Yeah.
They love me more than anyone has ever loved me. And like the way that you were explaining that before you got into the separating past the illusion of who they are into who they really are.
Right.
You were verbatim going with the first step of what a trauma bond is. And I was like, where the fuck is she going with this?
Well, I think everybody trauma bonds at some point.
To a degree.
Yeah. And I don't think people recognize that they do it.
Right.
And I think trauma bond really intensifies that illusion of somebody.
It does. It absolutely does. And that also leads into narcissistic abuse, which is a later aspect of things. But
yeah.
So we got a super chat from Great Wolf Tactical. He's a member now for 17 months. That's Dakota. Hello. Everyone who wants to have any dog training anything, Dakota from Better Built Dogs is the one who trained Ivy. Where's my chocolate lab, bro?
That reminds me, we have a Zoom call with them at 4 p.m. today.
Okay. Okay. I'm probably not going to go to my chiropractor appointment today, so.
Okay.
At this point, there's no need. The Meloxicam and all the fucking steroids and shit is, for the most part, doing its job. The chair's the problem, so. We also got one from Desk Clan for 18 months. Holy smokes.
Wow. Thank you.
Hello, this is from, man, that's really bright.
Tia.
Okay.
I think it says Tia J.
Just wanted to say thank you for all you do. Also, would you say that leaving for a night after an argument cool off is the same as walking away? If you just walk out the door and leave overnight, you've left. At that point, you've abandoned the entire relationship. If you're like, hey, we are not seeing eye to eye, you're really getting scary. I don't feel emotionally safe with you right now. I don't feel like I can be emotionally like secure in us because of the way that I'm feeling. I just need to cool off. I'm going to go stay at my mom's for the night. I'll be back tomorrow morning with breakfast and we can sit down and have a conversation like adults instead of screaming like teenagers.
Right.
It's a very different conversation than just fucking dipping out the door.
Yep.
So my answer to that is if you preface it, I'm not abandoning you. I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving the relationship. I love you. I'm not fucking leaving. I just don't want to have a volatile conversation that's going to make us regret each other.
This is not how we love each other.
Right. We can't do this because things said out of anger can never be taken back. And you can say that shit jokingly or frustratingly, but once that leaves your mouth, that seed has been planted and it's going to fester and grow always. It'll always be there. 20 years later, you'll have that, hey, you remember when they said that shit to you? Is this real? Right? Do they really feel that way? You can't do that. You need to be in control of your emotions in all facets. And I think that, and I talked about this yesterday on TikTok, when you learn to emotionally regulate yourself and you learn to articulate the things that you need versus just flying off the handle and talking shit to your person, it's a superpower. Your entire life will change because now you're no longer having superficial arguments. You're having conversations about what's really fucking going on and the root of the fucking problem. And this is what I need from you so that this wound can start to scab over and we can fucking start healing. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. All right. That was it for Super Chats. Let's go back to
regular chat.
Bree said, you're both my favorite people in the universe. That's
thank you. I don't take that lightly.
Yeah. Tara said, just like a joke, there's always some truth in it. See, that's what I'm talking about. You can't do that shit to people. If you have friends that you can fucking like go hard
Shit
on,
talk and
right?
troll and whatnot.
Right? Oh yeah. And you can be like nasty to them because it's all in, intentional fun.
Yeah, it's roasting.
But it's not from a place of fuck you, it's from a place of love. And when you're doing that, there's no nastiness there. Like I'll talk shit to people while we're playing video games. It's a video game.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like, your hygiene's fucked up and your teeth are crooked, bitch. Like you don't do that. I know you can't expect someone to communicate and handle stuff the way that you do, but what if your partner doesn't want to communicate at all? That means that they're not safe with you. So something that either you did or something somebody previously did to them showed them that they are not safe to express their weaknesses.
Emotions, thoughts.
Right. It's probably been weaponized and used against them. It could speak to a childhood trauma, but until you are able to actually show them that they're safe with you, and we just got another one. Another trip booked.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, next year's going to be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't wait.
So until you can actually show them that they are safe and that vulnerability in their fuck you, Jay, dude.
Who? What?
Jay and Krista from Vegas are coming. Yeah, love that. This is gonna be a hell of a fucking
Oh my
trip.
gosh.
This is gonna be a good trip.
Are we allowed to smoke out there? Is that a thing in Costa
I would
Rica?
have to look. I'd have to look into that. I can't imagine that would not be a thing.
You get baked as fuck on a beach. Let's go.
What week is Costa Rica? It's the 20th to the 26th of May.
Yes.
There's a link in the
2025.
description of the video on YouTube for you guys who want to go. Speaking of YouTube, the 500 and something people that are watching on Facebook, go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We are 40,000 people away from 250,000 on YouTube. That's my yearly goal.
Yeah.
So if we can hit that by the end of the year, that means that we progressed
100,000.
100 and what was 150% because we were at 100,000 this time last year.
Oh,
so
were
if we
we?
go to 250, that puts us at 150,000 over what we did. So we'd have been 50,000 more.
Oh, wow.
It'd be a big increase for a year too.
That'd be dope.
You guys have helped me dig myself out of a hole, learn how to forgive and put stuff in the past. Thank you so very much. Tina, you forgiving hopefully is forgiving you and not other people because that's where the forgiveness comes. Or forgiving for you and not for other people, I mean.
Yeah.
Saw something last night that says, somebody said, and it just triggered the thought that said, I have a tendency to, and the guy was like, what do you mean you have a tendency? And she's like, I have a pattern, I have this, I have that. And he's like, if you are aware of these tendencies, it's a choice. And I was like, oh, bitch. I went down a rabbit hole this motherfucker last night. And all of those conversations led into you. All of the other people's intentions, the hurts, the slights, all of that shit comes down to your acceptance of what's going on in life and where you are okay with things. And if somebody does you dirty and you lose trust in them, because this speaks on forgiveness, you lost the ability to trust in them to do what the things that they're going to do. And what you're actually doing is learning who they are. And when you learn who they are, you just know, okay, I've learned something new. You can just move on with your life at that point. There's no longer a slight or a fuck you that was had there. They showed you who they were. That's a win for you. You now know something that you didn't know before. A lesson has been learned and you can simply move past it. I was like, damn.
It's going to be a lot to think about.
Yep. How do I get my husband to be more of a husband dad than my fourth child? Is it hard to have a husband be a husband? Like waking up on Saturday morning and like, dang, gotta now today, instead does his own.
I don't understand.
That made no sense. Like waking up on Saturday morning and like, dang, gotta now today. Your communication needs work. I can tell by the way that you type that. No offense, but like you have a hard time articulating things, and I can tell by that because I don't understand what you're asking. And you don't either, I'm assuming, because you're still squinting at it.
Yeah, I just said I don't understand.
Okay. Peaches, you are absolutely a beautiful person inside and out.
Thank you.
Stay off my woman.
I've worked really hard to become the person I am today.
My birthday is the 26th, JJ, of May. That'd be the flight back. Book recommendations for BPD. Stop walking on eggshells. Buddha in the borderline. I love you. I hate you. Don't leave me. Oops, super chat. Chris Dennison, we will be in Costa if this house is remodeled, doesn't kill me. If this house remodel doesn't kill me. That would be gangster.
That would be gangster.
I fucking love you guys. You have taught me how to love my woman like the best man you are, respectfully. All caps.
Word.
Hope I read it with the same energy you intended. Can I get some advice, please? I have been dating this woman for a month, and I asked her... And I asked her to marry me because we both agreed we don't believe in a timeline, and we have a great connection. But now after I asked, and she said yes, we barely talk on the phone and barely text. Help me, please. You're a month in. You don't even know this person yet.
You don't know who this person is.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Courting phase, dating phase, moving in,
Yeah.
marriage. Those are our... Now, there's studies have been done that say that if you wait to move in after you're married, you have a higher success rate in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It also says the same thing if you don't sleep together before marriage. I don't know how
Right.
true any of that is. I didn't do the studies, but that's what I read. I think that you should live with somebody before you marry them, even if it's a week or two at a time, because you're going to learn their bad habits.
Right.
That's important. Janae, member for
Janae.
16 months, level early access message. I'll be in Costa Rica if it doesn't sell out before I book. I'm so glad people are stoked. Jenny, I will buy your fucking trip and you can just
Right
pay me
now.
back if that's the case.
Let's go.
Yep. Just message the Death Star. We'll figure that out. I
Make
strive
this shit happen.
I strive to be like me, but Peaches is my inspiration. That's a good way to word that, Nicole. I like that for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I just joined men's group because of 2BB F3 Nation. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look into it. Peaches, the way you are wearing your hair today frames your face perfectly. Thank you for everything you do. You too. Thank you for everything you too.
Oh.
That's from Stacy.
Thank you.
Stacy.
I brushed it, realized I didn't want to mess with it, and just fluffed it.
Why don't you sit back, babe? I can tell that you're not comfortable.
Because you're worried about angles and whatnot.
I'm good. I managed to slouch down enough that my head's not cut off the top of the frame and I'm still sitting up. I'm just not leaning back on the thing. But you are not comfortable. Get comfortable.
I'll sit back when I'm ready.
All right. Peaches, I know this isn't a relationship question, but what do you use on your hair? It's so healthy. Tell that story. Tell that story.
I don't want to tell that story because it's still really hard for me to look at myself in the mirror. My hair is not healthy right now. I don't know why it looks like that on camera. It's very dead and brittle and strawy on this side. Right now, I shampoo my hair once a week. I condition every other day. Sometimes I do hair masks. I can't really tell you what products I use because it changes every time I go to the store. I like trying new things and seeing what it does.
The takeaway from this is that your hair doesn't look as bad as you think it does, babe.
Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, so you do want me to tell the story?
I do.
Okay.
Because you had a rough 4 months over that.
Yeah, it's gotten easier. I still want to get extensions.
Well, that's whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
You want me to just give the quick blurp and go?
Yeah.
Last time she had her hair dyed black and pink, the chick dyed her hair with a bleach and left it on for too long and her hair started falling out. Like she thought she was going bald. It was falling out in clumps.
I lost 6 and 7 inches of my hair, in length.
Yeah.
On the sides. On this side. Yeah.
Kaylin became a member level early access. Thank you for that on YouTube. Damn, there's a whole lot going on here. I saw a whole lot of new subscriptions from Facebook going over to YouTube. Thank you for that. Coconut oil every night is a lifesaver. In your hair? Is that a thing? Oh man, could you imagine how bad your pillow would smell?
I would imagine not a lot.
Oh, it would to me. It would to me.
No, I mean the amount of coconut oil you're
Oh
using.
yeah. Probably not much.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine you have globs of it in your hair. Probably on the scalp and maybe on split ends or something.
I equate coconut smell to suntan lotion because it's always got that artificial coconut smell to it, and I'm good on that shit. So much going on. Hello, I'm in my first healthy relationship in my life. I have BPD and I get upset when my partner takes long to respond to my text. Do you have any advice that you could help me? The world does not revolve around you.
His world does not revolve around you. That's it.
We have days where you don't hear from me for 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often. And when it is, it's like, hey babe, thinking about you, going to the bathroom, gotta go back, da-da-da-da-da.
And when the kids aren't in school, you might not hear from me for 5 or 6 hours.
It happens.
Yeah.
You guys, that's an attachment style. That's an anxious attachment style. You need to be attached to the hip. That's not, you're going to make a healthy relationship very unhealthy by creating conflict when there shouldn't be any.
That's self-sabotaging.
Absolutely.
It's self-sabotaging to satiate the toxic need in you.
Right.
So the reminder of you are not the center of his universe. He is in the middle of something right now. And if you're not in the middle of anything, reevaluate what you do with your time.
Yeah, that's true too. How would you handle that situation?
So the way that I did handle that situation, when we first started talking, it was very, very hard for me not to be anxiously attached.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't hear from you for 45 minutes and I would check my phone every 3 seconds. And then I recognized like, this isn't healthy for me. This has never worked in any relationship before. And like, this is an actual man. I need to back the fuck off. And that's when I actually started developing my own hobbies. I recognized I didn't have any hobbies. And I was chronically online. I always had my phone in my face. So I put my phone down and I actually started doing things that preoccupied my time that I enjoyed.
It's so important.
It is.
And that falls under self-care. That's a big fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
My answer to that is to send a text message, just one. Hey, babe, I know you're busy. I'm thinking about you. I hope you're having a fucking phenomenal day.
Miss you.
Yeah, hit me back when you have a minute. Even if you just get a small reply back while they're eating their lunch break. I got 5 minutes on lunch. Today's been a shit show. You know what's going on.
Right.
And then when they get home, you can have something now to talk about. Like, I haven't talked to you all day. Tell me about your day. Like, you're now connecting and you're not pushing a person away by being fucking crazy thinking that they're dipping out because they're not responding to your text messages very fast.
Right.
What do they do for a living? Are they staying at home playing video games because, you know, you're 30 minutes in a match. You're going to be every 30 minutes before you get a quick reply. Or are they fucking working? And maybe they can't be on their phone at their job. Or, I don't know. It's just wild to me. Ooh, there's a big one.
We've actually done an episode about the anxious attachment style on our YouTube channel.
Didn't you break down that whole thing?
I did,
all
yeah.
of the attachment
styles, yeah.
I still
I'm
don't
almost certain
understand
we
them.
have a playlist.
We should.
I'm almost certain we have a playlist.
We should. I don't want to read the really big one. That was too long. My husband and I have been married for 13 years. We have 2 children together, and we have had our difficulties in our marriage. We both watch your reels that we catch on Facebook, and I just wanted to say I appreciate your reels and advice that you both give because you guys were both trying to be better for each other. We love you guys, and thank you. Please follow on YouTube. The reels are cool. You guys get little out clips of conversations, but the broader conversation puts everything into context, and it fucking matters.
The real information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you really want to level your game up, guys, go to YouTube, start at episode 1, and listen to all the emails that come through. And when you guys get to a point, pause it and have a discussion about what's going on. Because even if you've never had that situation, having the conversation about it where you're not involved, you can learn from each other. So in the event that something starts to come up, you know how you're going to deal with it. You know how they're going to deal with it. You can say, okay, this will be a red flag for her. I know not to do that shit because this was a trauma for her in the past. I don't want to fucking make that a thing, right? So like it's like a cheat code. She did a keratin treatment. I saw something about a keratin treatment. We did a keratin treatment once. Her hair was straight and great for like 3 days, and then her natural curls came right back.
Well, she said it was more to make it easier while I straighten it.
Is that what it was?
To reduce the time. It didn't really reduce the time, but it was definitely less frizzy when it was straightened. It wasn't as affected by the moisture in the air.
Yeah. Somebody said, where can we find you on YouTube from Facebook? If one of the mods on Facebook can post a link to the YouTube channel, that would be fucking gangster. That's what we've been doing. Me and my partner. So much growth. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Corrine said, I get married in 30 days and I'm having to create boundaries with my parents to protect the family I'm trying to create. Any advice? Do that shit now.
Do it now.
When you get married, you are creating your family.
It separates you, that they become extended family.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want your marriage to be successful, the in-laws need to back the fuck up.
Yep. You don't need to know about my finances. You don't need to know what my husband and I argue about.
Right.
You don't need to know none of that.
Yeah. And
you don't need to know about my daily schedule. You don't need to know the things that my husband says in frustration. Like all of that digging for information to divide.
Yeah. And it will.
It will.
Especially in unhealthy family situations. But this also speaks to a negativity bias.
It does.
You have one bad day, right?
Yeah. And you vent.
And you get a daddy's girl, and the wife calls her father and is like, this is what's going on, blah, 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 blah. That bias is now there.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude. I can't believe he's treating my little girl like that. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
That relationship is never going to be a cohesive thing. Family functions are going to be fucked up. Holidays are going to be fucked up. in the rare occasion you may need to borrow money or something's not quite right, he's not going to look at you as a man. Like there's a whole lot of shit that comes into that. Keep your fucking family problems within your family. If you need to talk to somebody, go to therapy.
Yes. You're religious, you go talk to your pastor.
Right. Get involved in other groups.
Yeah.
You know? How can we go about learning to do things for ourselves without feeling like we are taking time away from the other person? That sounds to me like instead of spending time with your person, you're choosing to do the other thing. This comes to time management.
Learning to do things for ourselves. I don't understand.
Okay, so...
When I hear learning to do things for ourselves, like you're learning to cook.
Okay, well, let's do this then. We work while the kids are at school.
Right.
You pick the kids up. I was editing out. We have Carrie. I don't edit anymore. But we had from 8 o'clock till the time we went to bed together at night every night. You would normally fall asleep an hour and a half on the couch. You'd pregame bed. And I would stay up until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And then we go to bed and wake up next morning and do it all over again. That little bit of hour to hour and a half time, if you were doing something that is a hobby for you or learning something new to find yourself, right? To reestablish who you are as a woman, would take away time that we have from us. I don't need you every single night on the couch.
Right. I was about to say 1 or 2 nights a week.
Go do your self-care. You want to go play bingo? Fucking go play bingo, babe. Go do your thing. Fucking kick them old ladies' asses. Like, get your little trolls lined up and your little magic charms and fucking run that shit. You don't have to be up somebody's ass 24/7. We can have 1 or 2 date nights a week and still sustain everything. If that's all the time we got, that's the time we got.
Yeah.
If he's doing things that's the other person, how about that? The other person is doing things that he needs to do for self-care or to maintain some semblance of individuality of who he is as a person, because we are not one. We are one flesh, but you still have I don't care about gardening. You do. I'm excited because you're excited, but I don't want to be involved in that. So why would I expect you to want to get involved in, I don't know, mechanics? Like if I find peace in doing that, I'm going to go calm down for a little while and do my thing, play some video games, something, you know what I mean? Like it's healthy.
Right.
But that doesn't take away time from each other. If you're doing it constantly, that's a different conversation.
I want to tack on to, so you said you don't have to constantly be up their ass all the time. If you are with somebody who demands that you are up their ass all the time, that's toxic.
It is.
That there is something going on within them where that's codependency. It's codependency.
Yeah.
I was going to go on a long tangent.
You got it though. It was quick.
Yeah.
You did an episode on that too.
Did I?
Yeah, you did
I don't
a breakdown
remember.
on codependency. Maybe we just had a really long conversation about it, because I remember I said something, somebody was like, that's not what codependency is. You need to learn. And I was like, maybe I do.
Yeah.
Cohen said, Chris, you have helped me figure out what kind of man I want to be. Peaches, you've shown me how much of a good woman is truly capable of. Thank you guys, and little praying hands. So thank you for that.
I'm glad that you learned things.
Yeah. Guys, if you want to guarantee that you're going to have your shit read, send a super chat, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. I'm seeing the super chats pop up on YouTube as they come, but I have to go into Discord for the super chats on Facebook, and I'll go do that right now. It doesn't look like there's anything new there. So back to OBS. RJ said, I got roughly 10 months until I finished school and moved back to the States to start a life with my lady. Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, nice. Be counting down every damn day.
You know what one of the coolest things about all this is to me? I'm scrolling all the way down to the bottom.
What's that?
See, there's some super chats. When it comes to the community that we've built, we're almost 2 years in. December 17th will be 2 years of the podcast. And then we had our TikTok community, and a lot of those people transferred over. There are names, screen names that we recognize solely based off of them being here in the chat.
Oh gosh, right, when we only had 30 or 40 people watching.
And they're still here. Like, that's fucking
That means
insane.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time that you edited the first podcast?
Yeah.
The first edit you'd ever done?
Yeah.
We sat in the living room for like 3 hours side by side.
Yeah.
This is insane.
We had a whole lot of, can you imagine? Right? Like, there was a lot of that in the beginning. Remember the first Patreon live we did? There was like 6 people.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh man, one day there'll be like 100 people in here. And like the Patreon took off, right?
Yeah.
And granted, those lives are still small. I don't think
They
we've
are.
ever had more than like
60 or 70.
No, we've had over 100, but it's not
have we?
sustained.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that like this chat right now has 1,000 people in it between Facebook and YouTube because it's streaming on 2 platforms.
Holy guacamole.
Patreon lives only have 40 to 50, 60 that pop in regularly, but it's always the same people. And like we've built a foundation of all of that through that, which is super crazy to me. Jenna said, when we were excited about 50 people in Discord, laughing my fucking ass off. Yep.
I remember when we first started the Discord, I used to @ everybody.
Yeah.
And be like, have a good night, guys. Thanks for being a part of the community.
It's like 12 people.
Yeah. Well, because that mattered. Like, that was a big deal. But like now when I'm adding almost 1,000 people, I don't want to hear that shit every night.
I feel bad about that shit.
Yeah, me too.
Y'all should do a reaction live to the first pod. Y'all are very different now. We are different now. The emails are different now is the problem. And we are more educated now than we were. Like we had did the work and what works for us. And in order to continue having conversations and to give you information, we had to keep reading and keep doing and keep growing.
My perspectives have changed on a lot in my life.
Yeah. 2 years is a lot, especially with the amount of reading and the amount of conversations we had. And the disagreements.
Yeah.
Podcast has been a lot. We've had some on-air disagreements that we've just left in the fucking episodes, like most of them actually. Mm-hmm. But it challenged us to be better. I mean, it's what it came down to. So yeah, you're right. Who we are now is very different than who we were then because we see things differently. Like all of this is new. We've come out of a cocoon, so to speak, right? We could do that for a Patreon episode. Secret me. I'm debating ending my relationship due to no sex. I feel like I'm losing self trying to get him to want me.
Does he watch Korn? Because if he watches Korn, he has a desire. It's just not for you.
That's a good point. Is he thirst trapping on TikTok and Instagram? Yeah. That would be a problem.
And that would be the conversation for me. Yeah. Look, every time I try to initiate, you shut me down, but I see that you're interacting with all of these sexually inclined posts. So is it me? Are you not attracted to me anymore? And you have to be prepared for that answer. If it's a no, okay, then what do we do from here?
Yeah. Secret me, you should send us an email, tobetterco@gmail.com. We read them anonymously. Kelsey Locke sent $1.99 with no text.
I'm just getting comfy.
Jenny said, I think we finished day 1 with 20 people. A Peach's cookbook, ? Exclamation point.
I don't even know how to go about making a cookbook.
Do they read Facebook comments? Yeah, we have been reading Facebook comments. But they're not all getting read. We're picking and choosing. If you want to guarantee that your shit is read, send a super chat.
Yep.
Easiest way to send a super chat is on YouTube. I would prefer you guys actually be on YouTube than on Facebook, but it just makes my life easier. Corn is always the problem. Corn is not always the problem. Corn is often a problem. Hormones could be off. Mm-hmm. Lack of communication in a relationship could be a problem. Get it, Ivy.
Come.
She's fucking digging.
You butt.
You
That's
said
not what
come
I
first.
meant. That's not what I meant. You knew that.
Mothering, nagging could be a problem. On a woman's side, the inability for a man to make her feel safe could be a problem.
Yeah.
Women control the intimacy in a relationship, and I don't always mean sexual, so stop that.
Right.
There's a whole lot of things that could be off. Corn is just
Sex could be weaponized at this moment, and corn's the coping mechanism.
It could be. It could be that there's other things going on, and that is the only way that they're able to get a release because they don't feel comfortable talking to you. It could be a whole lot of things.
It could be a lot.
Never speak indefinite, guys.
Yeah.
Never speak indefinites because you have no idea. Hey, what is the greatest album ever made to you? If you could only listen to one CD for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One CD
I'll let you think about it. I want that by the end of the podcast.
Okay.
Because I know mine. We've talked about it several times, but
I'm not going to be able to focus on this question while we read stuff.
Just let it simmer.
Hey, can you put the camera on him for a moment so I can take a hit and think about this? Thank you.
Full Circle Development said, just got here. How can I join on YouTube? Go to youtube.com/@tobebetter, and it'll pull you up. You guys will be able to jump in there. Zach said, I know your communication is good, but I didn't realize Chris could do that on command. I don't know what that was. How are you guys dual streaming? Restream.io, I think, is the website. For those of you who do streaming, if you don't know about this, you have to pay for it. but you can literally stream to from YouTube to Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You can literally set it up to do everything. There's a monthly fee, but it's cool to have the shit go everywhere it needs to go. First live I've catched. Always watch your podcast clips. Obsessed. Make sure you watch the full podcast, guys. You need that, or listen to it. Could feel like he isn't getting her there. Respectfully, I have no idea what you mean by that. When I asked my husband to wash my hair the other night, he took it as a chore and not something to get close to one another. Just want to feel more than hit and leave it. I felt pushed away more than wanted. I had a full hysterectomy, so my body is hard to get along with at times. Just want to show him I do want him. Just sometimes I need his touch more than his inches. We have been through so much in the 13 years of marriage and 20 been together. Okay, so this comes down to understanding that he may have viewed it as a chore. This is if so. I brush Peaches' hair. You don't even really have to ask me. If you come out and just sat on the floor with a brush on a table, I know what time it is. I got you, woman. And you shave my head. I'll sit on the floor and you shave my head. You take my boots off. The idea of serving each other and making sure that intimacy is maintained. This is a I don't need you, I want you kind of situation. If you were doing something and I thought it was just you trying to be lazy, I would be like, well, is that why? Right? You just trying to be lazy right now, or is this an intimate moment? Those conversations need to be had. And if you can't have that conversation, then your conversation's fucked up. Your communication's fucked up. Why can't you have that talk? Mm-hmm. Did you tell him that you would view that hair washing as an intimate moment? Right. And that would be no different than you bringing him his plate or taking his boots off or massaging his back.
Helps me feel loved.
Right. That's a bid for connection. Mm-hmm. You guys need we had a whole episode on that coming up too.
Yeah, we do.
We actually just recorded that. Patreon got it already. It's things to think about before having a fight.
Yeah.
It was an hour and 20 minutes. It was a phenomenal video.
Such a good conversation.
Yeah. It's on Patreon already. I could probably post it to the people who got the early release shit on YouTube too.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
Jacob for $2. 5 years sober today. Love you guys. Dude,
Bravo.
Fuck yes.
Congratulations.
Jacob, you're a gangster. 5 years that's a monument, dude. That's a milestone.
Yeah.
Good for you. Oh man, Hugh said Hank Williams III, Straight to Hell favorite album. Hank Williams Jr. would have been close to my top 3. He would have been in my top 3, but it's not. Yep. Is Miss Peach is going to do a cookbook? You gonna do a cookbook?
If I can find somebody who can compile it for me.
Yeah. You just find the recipes and be like, here.
Right. If I can compile my recipes.
Like a ghostwriting accountant.
Yeah.
Here's my receipts.
I really don't have the time. I don't want to give up my decompression time to work on something. I need that to be able to do everything else I'm doing in my life.
And we just restructured our life to the point where we have a little bit of free time and we fucking need this shit. We got to go take pictures the other day and it was a 5-hour excursion where we didn't have to worry about shit.
I got to sit on the couch for an hour the other day and watch whatever I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
No one was home. It was quiet. I didn't want to work.
Jamie said, "Hey, thank you to both for giving me the tools I need to be a better me, a better partner, and a better mom. I love you guys. Big. Bourbon Trail, Jamie." I want to do the Bourbon Trail.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that for your birthday?
Maybe. We didn't. I got to be honest. I was looking at Vegas again in December.
Yeah. I'd be down for that in December.
Do we have a Spotify? Yes, we do. To Be Better podcast.
Before we move on, if anybody does that,
Bourbon Trail?
No, not the Bourbon Trail, but creates books.
Email?
Knows how to create cookbooks, email us.
Yeah. Yep. The screeners will get it to our private emails and we'll reach out. Yep. I see the clips on TikTok and then go to the YouTube podcast. Well, thank you, Christian. That's the way to do it.
Thank you.
All the new subscribers coming through makes me happy as fuck.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you, guys.
Here's a big long one from Facebook. How about this one? Recently found you both and I needed it so bad. In a relationship and I thought narcissist, but knew that it wasn't it. Finding avoidant attachment style sounds like it. He always abandons when I try to talk about us. He says he wanted commitment in the beginning. After about 3 months, everything changed and now wants to come stay, but no commitment. What I don't understand is why he continues to keep contact and will want to stay nights on end, but can also say no commitment, no marriage, and I make him feel forced to be in a relationship. It's been 10 months total and hard on my end.
He's using you.
Yeah, that's what this is.
He's using you. You're a place to stay. You're a place to stick it when he wants it, if that's what y'all are doing.
Yeah. The beginning of that sounds like love bombing.
It does.
It sounds like they were setting this is the part of the 7 steps of a fucking
trauma
bond. Yeah. I would distance yourself from that.
I would.
And this could also speak to giving when you shouldn't give.
Right. Have you earned the gifts I'm going to give you?
Every time he calls you cave, there's nothing there. He knows that he can get it when he wants, and there's no...
there's nothing expected from him.
Right. So next time he's like, hey, I want to come over, be like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got plans tonight, or I would rather be alone tonight. I'm going to wash my hair.
Yeah.
Or let him come over and then don't put out.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hang out and watch Romeo and Juliet and then Titanic together.
Yeah.
I'll probably fall asleep halfway through Titanic though, so wake me up at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, bring dinner. Randall said, as a worship pastor, what is your views on religion? I think religion is a man-made construct.
And yes, and man is flawed.
And I think that the more man gets involved in God's word, the more corrupt it becomes. I believe that people should have a relationship with their deities. We are both followers of Christ. We're not shy about that. But we don't force our beliefs on other people, because what is that? Where's the love in that? Mm-hmm. So, yep. The guy I've been with for 3 years refuses to have me on social media due to my insecurities and asking about certain friends. What's your view?
The guy I've been with for 3 years refuses to have me on social media due to my insecurities and asking about certain friends.
I think that you can see
I'm confused.
Unless he's got his friend listed, and you can see that anyways. It sounds to me like you are being hidden. There's other things going on, and he's trying to hide you.
What do you mean asking about certain friends? Refuses to tell you about certain friends?
Well,
no.
It just says, and asking about certain friends. Why can't you have the questions? Who is this person?
Right.
Who are they to you? They sent you too many winky faced on that last comment. Like,
right.
You need reassurance is fine, but how you ask for reassurance matters. Who the fuck is that bitch? Is not the way you have that conversation.
Right.
Hey, I saw this person they comment on everything that you do. How do you know them?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're a little over flirty. Can you ask them to dial it back? Right? Like,
do they know you're in a relationship?
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever slept with them?
Mm-hmm. That's a valid question.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Your dog is so gorgeous. The 3 of you are so beautiful. Flyer Shoe 22.
Oh, thank you.
There would be another dog here if Dakota from Better Built Dogs found my fucking chocolate lab. I'm about to get real every
aggressive.
Day. Yeah, bro, I want this dog.
Good morning. Have you found him?
I've gone down the rabbit hole. My TikTok the other day was puppies. I've got puppy fever now because you guys got this bond. Although I got loving from 2 dogs today. Just so you know, I am a dog whore right now because she laid with me when I was icing my back at the house, and Lilo laid on my chest while I was icing my back here on the floor. Oh my
goodness!
So I'm puppy satiated today. Tomorrow is going to start all over again. Dakota.
She lays on my chest and it crushes me.
Michelle Taylor, my husband and I love your content. Patreon soon with a heart.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you for that. Patreon.
I hope you guys can join the Discord.
Yeah. Make sure that you join the $15 tier. Mm-hmm. If you guys are joining as members on Facebook or on YouTube, join at the $15 tier because that gives you access to part of our Discord. Mm-hmm. It gives you access to the ball pit. So anything that we post that's early content gets posted to the ball pit and then tagged to everybody so that you can see it.
Yep.
Most painful tattoo spots. Also, do you dig outlaw music? I do dig outlaw music.
I also enjoy outlaw music.
I like outlaw country specifically, before it became corporate. But Cricket tip sent $1 with no text.
Thank you for the $1.
Do you cook on lives, or where can I see these meals?
So I do have a. I
said
do. I did. I do have a cooking segment. I think I'm going to disband the garden.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And just make Peaches content? Why don't you just change the name?
Yeah.
Because you can do what you want to do at that point. It's not a schedule.
Right.
I like the free flowing chaoticness of I'm going to go live today. Okay, babe, go live today. Like that's what you've been doing.
Yeah, you enjoy it. I feel like it's an inconvenience. I'm insecure.
Why?
I'm insecure that it's an inconvenience to
Why?
you. Because if I wake up on a Thursday morning, I'm like, I want to record for 4 hours today making mini food.
So what? If you have
I don't
4
know,
hours to spare, I would rather you do something that you enjoy versus
Right.
feeling like you're required to do something because
But you have to
we're
be
on a
here.
schedule. I don't have to be here.
You have to get the cameras going and stuff.
We hired somebody for that. I just have to show her how to do everything. She's
Okay.
got the editing down. Next step is learning how to use the camera because Costa Rica.
Okay.
And getting your passport.
Passport.
She gave you a fuck you face.
No, because you said, what?
Costa
Rica's in
Rica.
May. You're going to have to learn how to use your camera and get your passport so you can go. If you get
If
your
you
shit
want
together.
to.
Yeah. All right. My husband and I.
Wait, don't move on.
What?
I was saying something. Hang on. What was it? No, what were we talking about? Fuck.
You're disbanding the garden episodes and doing content when you feel like doing content.
Oh, I do. I do cooking segments live through our Patreon. Everything I do is live on Patreon. We record everything live on Patreon. Almost everything live on Patreon. Sometimes it's early release content if we don't have the means to go live. But I do cooking segments live. I do true crime live. I'm enjoying that. I'm starting to get into the groove of things and figuring out what I want to change and how I want to structure my storytelling and whatnot.
That's good. Are you enjoying recording with Carrie when you
I
do this?
am.
Yeah.
I am. I invited Carrie on whenever she wants to.
How
Yeah.
how are you enjoying the D&D thing?
I'm enjoying role playing. Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I need a little bit more than like a 5-minute break though.
Yeah.
Yeah, sitting in that computer chair for long durations hurts.
You got to try to use my chair with a yoga ball on it.
I sat in it yesterday.
It works.
I sat down. Did you hear what I said?
No.
I sat down in that little yoga ball and I had my back rested against it. And I was like, this isn't really, I don't understand what the big hype is. And I was like, babe, how do you sit on this thing? And you're like, you're not supposed to have your back against it. And I was like, the opposite of what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
And I scooted forward and my hips moved a little bit. And I was like, okay. And I sat there for like a minute and a half. And I said out loud, oh, my body craves to sit like a shrimp.
I sat on that ball for 7 hours the other day.
Oh, I bet you did. You felt fantastic after it. I kind of want to replace everything in the house with it. I know we can't do that. That's just me obsessing over it and wanting to be
That's funny.
physically healthy.
My husband and I started from episode 1 when we were having issues and ready to call it quits, and now happily married 2 days ago. Thank y'all so much.
Congratulations.
Well, I would like to see an email come through from you with a picture of your wedding. I want to
Holy
put faces
shit.
to the names, guys. Darcinderin said that LP Meteor is my favorite album.
Nice.
Scrolling.
Are you hungry?
I am getting there, yes.
I'm very hungry.
Peaches uses satin pillowcase at night. Biolage, Hydra Source hair mask, and try not to use any heat on your hair. Sorry, cosmetologist here.
Oh, I use heat on my hair every day. That's not going to change, but I do things to try to put. Hey, I need you to go back up, please. I want to take a picture of that because I do like looking into hair products. Boop. I have tried those satin bonnets. The tie-on ones hurt my hairline. Why are you giggling over there?
Because of the first time I saw you in that, I was like, what are you doing?
He wasn't prepared.
I was not. I was not.
I very rarely update my husband on purchases. I just kind of let him find me in my natural habitat.
Keeps me on my toes.
It does. And it's never anything bad. That must be nice for you. Your nervous system, I bet. But the tie-on ones I noticed was hurting my hairline. It hurt for a day and I was like, I'm never wearing that thing again. And I bought a scrunchy one, but that always falls off. The satin pillow is smart. I didn't think about the satin pillow. Mm-hmm. I just kind of gave up.
Yeah, satin pillowcase would make a whole lot of sense because
Right.
come off in the middle of the night.
It's not going to hurt my head.
Blake Todd said, I sent you guys an email follow-up to my super chat. I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you, Blake.
Thank you.
We'll try to get into that soon. Scrolling.
First watch.
Sure.
Would you like what you got the other day with the eggs and bacon?
Yeah.
Or the sausage?
Yeah.
Yes.
My wife and I love the content. I wish I had found y'all sooner. With that being said, the content is helping me greatly. Appreciated. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for watching.
Glad you guys are doing the thing.
And thank you for supporting.
Who here's a good question from Thomas on Facebook. How can you deal with detaching certain people from your life without it affecting who you are? Like family members. I always try with my family so my daughter can know who there are, but none bother.
It's going to affect who you are.
It is.
100%. A very important figure in my life left in single digits, and it still affects me to this day. It has definitely shaped me and will continue shaping me into who I am as a person, and recognizing how I was failed or lack of support or the things that were done that I appreciate deeper now, because I can recognize sacrifices that were made, or the moments where I could tell someone was really exhausted and didn't want to fucking go out that day, but they did it anyway because it was my childhood, right?
Yeah.
So trying to ignore the effect that it has is just going to greater depress you. It's going to suck, but you're going to have to embrace it. You're going to have hard nights crying. You're going to be like, what the fuck is this? Why am I here? I didn't matter to anybody, or whatever the case may be. And then you're going to get through the storm, and you're going to look back and be like, damn, that actually wasn't that bad. I survived that. And you're going to be happier for processing what happened. You're going to feel lighter for processing what happened, because carrying things like that is heavy. And now with the weight of how this is going to affect the child is also heavy. And with you ignoring it, I can promise you it's affecting you, because ignoring emotions creates masks like anger and frustration and short tempers. And then that's going to lead to, in the child's mind, daddy's mad all the time because of me. And that's from a child psychologist.
We went to two way different places with all that.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh.
My answer to this is way simpler than all of that.
Okay.
Your relationship is not dependent on a DNA bond.
No, it's not.
So just because you have a DNA bond with somebody doesn't mean that you have a good relationship with them, and expecting somebody to do something or want to be around or whatever because you share DNA is foolish. You have to create a connection with the people that you want to have a connection with. And the last part of that statement said, so my daughter can know who is there, but none bother, which means it sounds like they're intentionally stepping away to see who reaches out to them. That's manipulation. You're trying to manipulate the people around you to try to chase you.
I'm confused. Who's them? Who's stepping away?
That's what
the person who asked the question?
Yeah.
So they're stepping away to see who chases.
I always try with my family so my daughter can know who these are, but none bother. Maybe I read that wrong. Maybe that speaks on they're trying to have the relationship with family and people are choosing not to.
Right.
Either way.
Well, conversations will definitely come up, especially if the child is over the age of like 5 or 6.
Right.
Why don't I see grandma anymore? Well, that's going to be a hard conversation. But the way that I would approach that with the younger child is, oh, well, grandma's just very busy right now.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way. Let's enjoy the time we can with the people who do have time right now. And then when we see grandma again, we'll really enjoy the time with her. We don't throw people under a bus. We don't have adult conversations with children, right? As they become older, right? If this is a 12, 13, 14-year-old, I would start having that conversation of sometimes people suck.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to run through these super chats, wrap up, and then go live on Patreon.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Okay.
I just recently started listening to your guys' podcast and got my wife to listen to you guys also. Love that, Robert. Hopefully you guys are benefiting from all of this.
You know what, Robert? Shout out to your wife for not becoming defensive, taking it personally. Why are you showing me this? This doesn't involve me. I'm not like that. Every person who listens to our podcast across platforms, millions of people, every person who takes a second to listen to what we have to say, I have a deep appreciation for.
Absolutely.
And then taking it to heart and then actually applying it in your lives and making yourselves happy, that shit fulfills me. I just got goosebumps. Oh.
It's because we are taking the bite out of the universe that we can to affect change.
Right. I feel like this is part of my purpose.
Legacy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Amanda said, suggestions for a sexual domestic abuse survivor in a healthy relationship now. His care is foreign. I'm expecting the backlash to come at some point. Okay. This speaks to not healing before getting into another relationship.
Right. It does. That also speaks to fight or flight. Waiting for that other shoe to drop. I think about that all the time. Like I'll be in the kitchen chopping up bacon. The children will be laughing in the room and I can hear you typing on the keyboard and Ivy's against my feet. And I'm like, I really used to live my life in fight or flight. I really used to wait for the other shoe to drop. There's no other shoe to drop anymore because I'm in control of these shoes. I would start with recognizing that I would start practicing living in the moment, right? Because waiting for the other shoe to drop, and when you're in a new healthy relationship, you are still living in the past of things. Your nervous system is all fucked up. You're still living in fight or flight or fawn or freeze, whichever one's happening. I would seek, YouTube is a great tool. It's not just for stupid video guys, I promise. Almost all of the therapy and the self-help that I have done for myself was done through YouTube and audiobook. I would go to YouTube and I would start looking how to heal from PTSD, how to heal from domestic violence, how to live in the moment, right? This podcast, everything we've talked about. If you haven't started watching the podcast, watch everything the podcast discuss about. So we talk about red flags. We talk about boundaries. We talk about self-worth. And every single episode is going to have a nugget that I believe will help you get into the moment that you want to be with this current person.
Yeah. I was going to say that if you are clearly not healed yet and you're still going through things and you need that reassurance, maybe that you and your new person needs to go to therapy together so that they can hear what things are. And they can maybe get a deeper understanding of what it is that you need because you have a mediator there. You have somebody that can translate what you're going through into an easier way of understanding.
A non-attacking way.
Non-attacking.
It's really hard to take something personal from somebody that you don't know.
Right.
Unless you're in your feels all the time.
Right.
Right? So if you guys go to therapy together and you say something and you're worried about it sounding dick, the therapist is here. She's not going to take it. He's not going to take it personally.
Right. Well, it's their job too.
Right. And then they can give that, this is what they actually mean behind the veil of the feelings.
Right. It's just necessary.
It is.
Some of our most successful Zoom calls
was done with couples.
Because we're able to translate. Like this is, look at the fucking pain on their face, blah, 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 you know?
Yeah. The frustration in the tone, like we can hear all of it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we want to actually start doing the Zoom calls again, which is available through Patreon. I've also noticed that we have gotten a fucking ton of great questions today.
Yeah.
We will be going live again on Patreon after this. Patreon is the $15 tier gets you access to Discord and all of our live streams. We do our podcast lives. We do our Friday content lives. Pretty much
all
every time that we record
live.
now is live. Yeah. So if you guys want to join the Patreon, they're much smaller chats. Like there's still over 1,000 people watching.
Right.
So if you guys want to get on Patreon, it's like 100 at most. Normally it's between 50 and 60. It's a whole lot easier to have the conversations in that chat.
It is.
So I highly recommend you guys go check out our Patreon.
And for my cooking videos, I'm going to start posting the recipes beforehand.
So that you guys can cook together?
So that we can cook together, yeah.
Smart. Shay said, my fiance are engaged after 10 years. High school sweethearts, and your content has helped tremendously. I'll send you all an invite. Love that shit. She's creating a scrapbook for all of the invites.
Wedding invites, yeah. We actually have a letter sent from somebody's child that I want to add in there. Yeah. All of the handwritten letters I'm keeping. All of the typed up letters sent with gifts I'm keeping. Business cards I'm keeping. Yeah. That's the...
What a fucking wild ride this has been.
Right? Like, and I want this book to be massive.
It will be.
Like, I don't want to have multiple books. I want this book to look like a 10-pound Bible. Yeah.
Amanda said, Chris, will you touch on the difference of having that chase with your other half versus chasing someone that leaves? Love you guys. I don't know what you're asking me. I chase peaches relentlessly. The fucking greatest thing on earth to me.
Yeah.
So I will make it a point to touch you every chance I get and like go out of my way to do things because I want you to know that I love you and care about you. But that's, you walking away from me is not that. You walking away from me shows me that you don't want this anymore.
Where's the effort to match what I'm putting in for you?
Right. Right. If I'm willing to do all the work on me to learn how to communicate, to learn how to love you.
Right. I was about to say to learn how to love me.
Because
that's a big deal.
It is. It's
I'm
a
fucking
lesson.
Delicate.
We all are. All of us are fragile to a fucking degree.
Yeah.
And if you think that you're not, you're wrong. You're lying to yourself. There is some inner part of you, that inner child that's fucking in a corner right now in the fucking fetal position that needs some fucking attention.
I bet I could make anybody cry. I mean, minus being me because people see me and then cry. But I bet I could have a conversation with anybody and they could be crying within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not. Let's not ever do that.
Right. But that's just to prove the point that everybody at some point has repressed emotions, and once they feel seen, there's
Yeah.
nothing that you can do about it. It's
Yep.
overwhelming.
And it's a matter of feeling safe.
Right.
I don't know what you're really asking about that. I mean, I see you on here all the time. I'm almost positive you'll be in the Patreon chat. So we'll
Right.
discuss that in Patreon because I'm going to need more information. I'm just scrolling real quick to see if there's any more Patreons and then we're going to, or super chats, and then we're going to blast through. Let
Ooh,
me
I'm
check
getting
the
a scam
Discord
call.
because we have, oh wow, there's a whole lot of screenshots here.
Holy guacamole. Okay.
Oh man, how do you get over survivor's guilt? My ex-husband and I,
We're in addiction. I got help and have been clean since 2019, but he recently died of an overdose. And I feel like it's my fault because I didn't do more to help him. That's codependency. Right? I mean, unless you, without any context, I would say that's codependency.
yeah.
His addiction is his own. If he didn't want to get better, that's on him. You can't take ownership over that.
Yeah. I got to be honest, you need to go to therapy.
Yeah, definitely therapy.
I've lost people to addiction in like
It's hard.
similar scenarios. It's not something that's easy to get over.
Right. I will plug for BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
We work with BetterHelp. So if you go to BetterHelp either online, I'd actually set up my BetterHelp through the app. You can do the drop down, let them know To Be Better sent you, they'll get a discount. They also work with insurance, and they will also work with you if you're unable to pay for therapy. They have options to help you.
They don't do meds.
They don't do
It is not a
meds.
drug prescription service. It is
Right.
therapy.
It is mental tools to help you cope with your life.
Yep. So Cricket Tip said, my partner doesn't like to be touched in general, although he likes to be touched by me. What can I do to not take that personal? Doesn't like to be touched in general, although he likes to be touched by me.
I mean, that's a win. I don't know what's to take personal.
I don't either. It doesn't make any sense.
I would need an elaboration, please.
Can you see that?
Hard conversations are tough for her to where I don't even bother. We started couples therapy, and during assessment, I found out what her abandonment issue is from, and that she felt responsible for her dad almost leaving the marriage. There's still a lot of trust to go, but I feel like I'm making up for other people's damage. I know women sometimes choose men like their dad, but I don't change. Any insight?
If you're going to therapy with her, it sounds like you're trying to heal with her. You're
Right.
trying to be there for her, be a pillar.
Yeah.
If we found that you had some new fucking thing that you had to work through, and I'm like, hey, I love you, but I'm not willing to suffer through this with you, or go fucking somewhere else and figure your shit out. What does it say about the security of our relationship?
That shows me that there's a limit to our marriage.
Right. Right. And it's not fair to you. It's not fucking
not,
fair that
yeah.
you have to pay the sins for another person, which is why we tell people they need to do the work before they get in a relationship, but you are now in a relationship.
And now this is encompassed in that unconditional love.
Right.
How much are you willing to sacrifice to love the person that you're with properly?
Right.
And you have to do it without losing yourself in the process. So it's a very delicate balance. It's like, have you ever seen those people that have like 10 plates spinning on
Yeah.
like 10-foot poles? It's exactly that. And if your self-care drops while you're trying to tend to this person, your life's going to go to shit.
Yep.
If you overly focus on yourself and you stop focusing on your person, you're probably going to lose your relationship.
Yeah, probably. You got to be there for her, though. And this
lot.
is one of those things when she's struggling, be like, hey, what are you struggling with right now? Talk to me. Show them that you're safe, and don't get mad about it. Like if you truly give a shit and you're asking for it, be compassionate.
Right.
I'm sorry that you're going through. Don't try to relate to them. People, when you give somebody a story and you try to be like, I went through that, and this is what I did, and this is how I felt, and that really sucks. Shut the fuck up. You have no idea how their brain is processing whatever they're going through. You could go through the exact same thing as somebody else, verbatim, and take it differently and feel differently about it than they do. Listen, I'm sorry that you're going through that shit. That must really suck for you. Is there anything that you need from me right now? Is there anything that I can do to make you feel better?
Right.
You want me to just sit here and listen? Because I'll listen. You want me to hold you? You want to lay on my chest and listen to my heartbeat? What do you need?
Right.
Be there for them. That shows that you're a safe space. Eventually, and do the check-ins. Eventually, you'll get to the point where the conversation will be free-flowing. You won't have to deal with that shit. Wife and I have been together 7 years, and we're doing great. We share a lot of the same views, you guys, from religious to gender roles. Just wanted to say, I love that you guys publicly say these things in a world that's too scared nowadays. Yeah, the world's become pussified.
Yeah. It's very much about preserving feelings of the weaker,
Yeah.
those inept to survive life.
I heard somebody say something the other day that you can believe whatever you want to believe and I will support that. But the moment you try to make me believe what you believe, we have a fucking problem.
have problems,
And I'm like,
yep.
bro, that was the best way you could have ever said that shit. Because you're free to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Right.
And I'm free to do what I want to do. And we can disagree and that's great.
Right.
But I'm not trying to make you believe what I believe. You need to stop trying to make me believe what you believe.
Right.
Yeah.
And there is peace until it starts harming others. Right.
Yeah. Danielle said, I've been listening to the podcast after obsessing over the reels. I'm trying to implement a lot of the things I've learned, but the communication seems like a chore to my SO. What can I do to change that? It almost looks like I'm annoying him. I also feel like there's a lot of unmet attempts to connect with him. I know he loves me, but I don't know how to close this disconnect. So is that actually a you feeling, and have you expressed that to him? Because that's number one. If you haven't expressed that you feel that disconnect and like he's not willing to talk to you, maybe he doesn't know he's doing that.
Right.
Maybe it does feel like a chore to him. Maybe that this has been, maybe his weapons have been weaponized against him. Mm-hmm. The conversations have to happen. Start the check-ins.
Maybe there's been a lack of empathy when he tries to share things.
Yeah.
But then when you want to talk about it, you're expecting full empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peaches, you are my spirit animal. I have a tiny request. I was diagnosed with cancer 8 weeks ago, and a bucket list. I want to meet you in person and get a big peach hug. I mean, that depends on where you're at and if you're willing to travel, right? Like,
Right.
we do meet and greets.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm always down to give a hug if I feel comfortable.
Yeah. Don't just touch us though.
Yeah.
Ask first.
Definitely ask.
That's it. That's all the super chats.
All right.
Unless there was more on YouTube.
I would love to
Scrolling
be a
up.
part of a bucket list item.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be dope.
Bree said, speaking on couples emails, again, I truly thank you both, and Discord saved me from stepping away. Thank you both. I love that, Bree.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were one of the most memorable Zoom calls that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Sarah said, my fiance and I love listening to you guys. We're getting married on the 31st next year. Thank you for all you guys do. We've watched from the beginning. Please send us a wedding invitation.
Yes.
The P.O. box is on our website. All right. That was the last super chat that I saw. I'm just going to scroll down and make sure that we've wrapped up, and then we can pop up.
I'm sitting down. Oh my gosh. Oh, the reverse shrimp was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it, guys. We're going to wrap up. Okay. Again, if you want to continue talking to us, go to Patreon, sign up. We'll be going live there in about 15, 20 minutes. We need to stretch and all that shit. Join the $15 tier, connect your Patreon to Discord, and you'll have access. If you subscribe on YouTube, I don't always do it. You have to check the ball pit because it always gets posted to the ball pit. So, guys, thanks for tuning in today. Check out the Costa Rica trip, May 20th to the 26th of next year.
Wait.
It's going to be a fucking good time.
My God. I'm going to cry in the rainforest. Can you get a picture of me every time I cry somewhere out of excitement or happiness? Yeah, I want to make an album on Instagram of me just crying in Costa Rica. Right.
There's your highlight.
Me looking at other things. Yeah.
That's funny. Guys, if you want to have your email sent in to us to be read, it's tobebetterco@gmail.com. Again, Patreon, To Be Better. Join the Discord.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys.